Good morning, afternoon, evening to all of you, and welcome once again to our series of online events. Thank you for joining us for today's talk. Ne kaun badala? That's a Burmese greeting, and it means, I hope you're keeping well. I'm Sunita, one of the Asia specialists at Travel the Unknown. Myanmar, a name that's synonymous with military dictatorship and ethnic strife. More than half a century of negative headlines has only added to further damage. What really lies beneath the hostile facade is a land of unspoiled beauty, unwavering spirit, and unrivaled hospitality. A culturally diverse land, rich in traditions and literature. The might and wealth of the empires that rule the country can be seen in the breathtaking pagodas and temples you find around the country. It came to be known as the Golden Land due to the abundant use of gold leaf plating on its pagodas and temples. As the country is looking to the future and opening up to tourism, it is all the more crucial to encourage sustainable and ethical travel, which supports and benefits the rural communities directly. While there, enjoy the street food markets of Yangon, floating villages of Inle Lake, and take the breathtaking train ride to Mandalay. And of course, the sublime pagodas of Bagan and the iconic Shwe are not to be missed. We are very pleased to have with us today Pyone Ei Mon, Manager of Travel the Unknown's Myanmar operations. Born and raised in Myanmar, she has been associated with the travel and tourism industry since 2003 and is a certified sustainable development professional. After a 4-year stint in the UAE, she returned to Myanmar in 2012 and took up her current role in the country and actively pursue social projects to support local communities. Pyone loves traveling and meeting people. Her favorite places in Myanmar are Bagan, Sibo, Chome, and Nepali Beach. Once again, we will follow the usual format with some general housekeeping rules, followed by Pyone's presentation. Thereafter, I will give you some background on our tours, and we will have time for question answers. Today's presentation will be slightly different. We will be managing the slideshow from our end for Pyone. Due to the erratic Wi-Fi and power supply in Yangon, we thought this might be a more reliable option. Though should there be a power failure during the event, we can take the opportunity to grab some tea and coffee. And if the power is still not back by then, one of us will take over. But actually, assures me that she's got a backup in place. So just hoping it all goes well with the power and everything. And please ensure your mics remain muted at all times to avoid any background noise and the videos remain off. You can send us any questions through the chat box and we will take them up during the question answer round. Yes, I've spoken long enough now and it's time to hand over the mic to Pyone. Over to you, Pyone.
Hello, Mingalaba. Thanks, Sunita, for your introduction about Myanmar. My name is Pyone, who is a tour operator in Myanmar for the Travel the Unknown. Before I start my presentation, I would like to introduce with our local team. Sunita, please change the slide. Yeah, this is our local team. We are member of SID. We are very passionate, innovative, and active. We all are knowledgeable in sustainable tourism, and we all have a certificate by Travel Life about the sustainability in tourism. We came from diverse background, but we are here working as a strong team. We love to promote Myanmar to all over the world and happy to assist our clients to have a wonderful time in Myanmar. All right, so let's move to presentation. The best thing in Myanmar is people who are friendly, generous, and love to engage with the visitor and open-minded. So our tours are very outstanding with a nice combination with culture, people, the ways of lifestyle and nature. Yes, next slide, please. Firstly, I will start with Yangon. Yangon is our former capital city. You can reach by flight or travel by land from Thailand border, crossing through Mon and Kayen state. In Yangon, You should not miss to visit Shwedagon Pagoda. It's built over 2,600 years ago and the oldest stubborn in the world. So our guide will bring you to to taste the Burmese breakfast known as mohinga and walk along to the local market. And also you will see it on the way the ways of vandalize and monk offerings. We can arrange the sunset tour in Shwedagon Pagoda with offering wine lamps set on the pagoda platform and also walk along to the Chinatown to taste their street food. And then you can do heritage walk around the colonial building and visit the High Court Secretariat. The Shan Hotel is the famous luxury hotel during the colonial period. Moreover, you will explore to the outskirts of Yangon by local transport such as trishaw, ferry, and cycler train. Here is the picture of offering the wildlands to Shwedagon Pagoda and crowded downtown area. And here is the secretariat. Next slide, please. Let's go to Mandalay. Mandalay is the last kingdom of Burmese dynasty and known as for the food. You can reach by flight and also by land from the other highlight destinations. In Mandalay, you will visit the monuments of Mandalay, such as the largest marble block, the longest and oldest Tikpu Bridge, and also monastery with over 1,300 monks and novices. You can also enjoy the beautiful view over the Mandalay Hill as well. I would like to recommend to do a day cruise over the Ai River to visit Mandalay surroundings. First stop is Sakai, where is the religious place and peaceful with monasteries and memory. You can visit to the monastery and chat with a monk about Buddhism and meditation. And the next stop is Yangon, where is the famous for cracked temple and the huge brown bears. After that, we will continue to Amarabura. You will see the marble carving and also the bazaars. The less attractive things for me is morning market, known as the ghost market. The market is set up on the track. The vendors remove their things very shortly when the train is coming up. After that, they put the thing back to the track the train is passing over. So the vendors doing this kind of things in their daily life, that's really amazing and interesting for me. And next page, please. Bagan. Bagan is one of my favorite places in Myanmar. There are over 3,000 temples and pagoda from 12th century. It became the World Heritage Site under UNESCO last year, 2019. In Bagan, I will suggest you not to visit only temples, but explore to the countryside by bike or by four-wheel drive to see the local life and also small local workshop run by family. And in the evening, you will enjoy the beautiful sunset in Bagan on boat over the Ai River. For the families and kids, we would really recommend to have picnic lunch under the shady tree with the among the temple ruins, and also Bagan swing set between the band trees with beautiful temple background. Sunita, next slide, please. You can see here the picnic lunch under the shady tree and also off-road to the countryside. Inle Lake. Inle Lake is the one of the highlight destination in Myanmar. It's really nice place for the activities and relaxing at the hotels on the lake. You can reach by flight or by land from the other highlight destination. In Inle Lake, you will see floating current, stick house, uh, also one like ruined fishermen, weaving and handicraft factories while you are exploring by boat on the lake. As I said, you can do many different kinds of activity, such as cycling, walking, kayaking to in the villages, and also you can do the authentic Shan cooking class to learn and taste in the traditional foods. Next slide, please. Here, the picture of the steakhouse on the lake and floating current. Here is the surrounding of Inle Lake. Kalao and Pindia region. It's near Inle Lake, about 1 hour drive. Kalao is a small town with fine weather. There you can visit Elephant Conservation Center. This is home for the retired elephants. You will enjoy by feeding and here watching to the elephants and also the walking around to the forest. Kalao and Pindia region is good for multi-day trekkings and cycling to the countryside over the plantation and paddy fields, and also over the train ride over the Shan mountains. Next slide. Napoli Beach. Napoli Beach is the most beautiful beach in the Southeast Asia with a white sandy coast. I prefer you to take the flight from Yangon or other highlight destinations. There is a public bus from Yangon, but it takes too long, about 11 hours, so we won't like to recommend it. In Napoli, you can do a day trip or overnight trip to visit fisherman village and stay at this small charming lounge named Lale Lounge. And Napoli, the best time to travel to Napoli Beach is starting from October till middle of May. During the rainy season, the flights are not operating daily. 90% of hotels are closed, so the beach is a bit isolated. We would suggest you to travel Napoli Beach after your trip before you fly back to your country. Then next slide. Here. This is the view from that small charming lounge at the fisherman village. Here the long coast of Napoli Beach. Let's go to the off the beaten track. Here is the Chin lady with tattoo women living in the very remote villages over the Chin mountain near on the way ahead to Mount Victoria. For the people who are interested to engage with the tribes and self-adventure, we would like to recommend to do 3 days trekking from the Inle Lake over Samka and Peko Lake to Cape Loigo. We do stop over at the small boutique lounge in Samka Lake, where it's the very unique, cozy, and no touristy. You can visit the pagoda forest, monastery, education around the Samka Lake. On the way ahead, you will visit the remote tribe villages and also enjoy the home-cooked lunch hosted by old tribes. You see the beautiful landscape with plantations and paddy fields as well. Next slide, please. Here, this is the pagoda forest around Samkan Lake. Here is the old lady with his traditional dress. Now we are getting into Loigo. Loigo is famous with low neck women. In Loigo, we can do a village walk to the Kaya villages, meet with low neck women communities, and also you will have a chance to taste the Kaya liquor and sausages. Here, the view from the trekking. The Kenyan ladies wearing the brown strings. Yes, this is long neck women. Northern Shan State, Sipo and Tame. You can reach by flight via Lasho Airport, drive about 1 hour to Sipo. The highlight things in Sipo is boat ride down to the Dotari River, walking to the Shan villages, old valleys, and visiting their farms. The next day, you will take the local bus to Taume for overnight trekking. So you will have an experience about homestay at the tribe villages and in touch with the friendly tribe family. The most attractive things in Northern Shan State is fantastic train ride from Northern Shan State to Pyone Ei Station, crossing over Gote Viaduct. In Pyone, you can take a shared taxi or private car to get mentally about 1.5 hours. Let's see the pictures of here. The train crossing over the Gote Viaduct. View from the trekking way and Sipo surroundings area. Next slide, please. Mon Ei Mon State. This tour you can do as an extension trip from Yangon, about 5.5 hours. Firstly, we will visit to Korean Rock Pagoda, known as Taitio Pagoda. It's the pagoda and the rock is balancing on the edge of Mount Taitio. This is the one of pilgrimage site for Burmese Buddhism. Next day, we will continue to Molamyai. It's the first old city during the colonial period. We will explore around the colonial city, colonial town, and also enjoy your home cooked lunch with Mon traditional food. Then we will continue by cruising over the Thailand River to get Pagan, is the capital city of Cayenne. On the way, we will stop Una'ao village and visit Ordination Hall. Mr. Na'ao is the local entrepreneur and trader during the colonial period. After that, we will continue to Pagan. Pagan is famous with limestone caves, beautiful mountain surroundings. You can do the village walk, walking to the Kaya villages, cycling and kayaking through the paddy fields and tasting their traditional foods. And also, you will visit the limestone caves. Here, you will see one of the limestone caves in Pagan. Beautiful scenery surrounding, kayaking, passing through the paddy fields. Experience about hidden oasis. This tour you can start from Yangon to Bagan through Tri-Zone area. This is very outstanding and that will give you authentic experience of traditional fishing on boat on the Erie River and motorbike safari through the off-road and also homestay at Tamarind Lake Village is created as community-based tourism. Then you will visit Yoso Monastery. It's the cultural heritage site in Saleh on the way ahead to Bagan. You will have not only experience in this tour, but also support to the community-based tourism. Next slide, please. Here you can see the homestay at the Tamin village, the old monastery with wood cabin. The last one is Eastern Shan State, Taidong. You can get there by flight from Yangon, or you can do as an extension trip from Inle Lake. Taidong is very charming place with typical architecture, and its surrounding is known as the Old Opium Trade with the several ethnic tribes. The earliest years, this region is not allowed for the tourists traveling. So the people are the conservative traditions behind the modern city. In Taidong, we were to the multiple trekkings to the different tribe villages and in touch with the communities and learned about their traditions, custom, religions, and you will have an experience about the homestay at the traditional tribe house. Yes, that's all about the destination of Myanmar. Here, I would like to introduce the sustainability projects we are supporting as locating. Burmese Tortoise Project. Minsamdang Wildlife Sanctuary is in between, on the way from Mandalay to Bagan. They have been conserving the tortoise and releasing them to the forest. So we plan to support them by setting up the visitor counters with entrance fees and donations that were goes directly to the center for feeding and caring tortoise. The next one is waterways project. Since 2014, we support to donate the waterway projects in dry zone area where the place difficult to have the water resource for drinking and using. Now that in the time being, we already paid 38 waterways. So if you are interested, you can donate the whole waterway or donate partially with our local organization. Bagan Plastic Campaign. The purpose is to reduce the plastic waste around the temple zone in Bagan. We are supporting to this campaign by employing 4 garbage collectors. Our station manager with guys are participating as volunteers to collect the garbage during the weekend. So if you are interested to join with us, we are very welcome. $1 client fund. $1 is contributed to the community projects and orphanage from the income from our signature excursion like a Sridong visit, orientation tour in Bagan, and sightseeing by boat on the Inle Lake. Local business support. We are supporting local business suppliers by using their service, such as home cook. The families host for home cooked lunch and homestay, local restaurant, cooking class, trucking supplier, something like that. Refill not landfill. This one also to reduce the plastic water burden. We request our clients to bring their own water bottle to refill the water. From our side, we will provide 20-liter waters in our coats, or you can easily ask the hotel receptionist to refill the waters at the hotels. So thanks for watching us. I believe that you have knowledge to travel in Myanmar.
Thank you, Pyone, for showing us around Myanmar and sharing your favorite spots and recommendations with us. So now I will quickly
Thank
take
you.
some of our tours. Okay. As most of you might already know, we organize group, private, as well as tailor-made tours, which are customized according to your specific requirements. Just to speak about some of our tours which we offer, the group trips, we have the Mystical Myanmar, which is a 17-day tour, which takes in the highlights, the temples and the pagodas that you find around the country. And it is a mix of these along with some the rural culture. We call it the ancient culture because these ethnic tribes have been in Myanmar for centuries. So, and that ancient culture and tradition is still being followed. You get a chance to visit that and visit the northern parts of the country, which are areas of awesome natural beauty. So it is a good mix of all those, and we run two trips, one in July and one in November. Or this can be done as a private trip at any time. Then we have the hidden tribes and pagodas of Myanmar, which is a 2-week trip. And as the name suggests, it mainly focuses on visiting the tribal areas in the country, as well as with a mix of pagodas and temples, which are dotted around the country. And it is a very offbeat trip and really allows you to get up and close to the communities that live in different parts of the country. We run two trips in February as well as in October, or else if you would like something which is more tribal, with a more tribal focus, we can then put it together as a tailor-made trip for you. Classical Myanmar, this is a private tour and it is a good trip for a first timer visiting and who wants to visit the highlights. Here you get a good mix because you visit the main cities as well as get the taste of rural life and end up at Inle Lake. And some useful information on Myanmar now. They are 6.5 hours ahead of GMT. There are no direct flights from this part of the world, so the options are either via India, Southeast Asia, or the Middle East. Most nationalities require any visa to travel to Myanmar. Their currency is called Shan. It's a largely cash economy, and ATMs and money changers are available in the main. It's an all-year destination. Typically, the best months are November to February. March to May are summer months. It can get a bit humid, but a better time is the shoulder season, which is, or else, as they call it, the green season, from June to October. There are fewer tourists at that time, and because of the little rain, which is not really a showstopper because it's not a continuous thing, but the countryside is really lush, green, and beautiful. So it's definitely a recommended time to visit. For any vaccinations or medication, we recommend you consult your GP or travel clinic for the latest requirements. So now let's have some questions, if you have any questions. Could you tell us, Pyone, about the COVID situation in Myanmar and how have they handled it? How is the situation currently?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Actually, we have been facing the second wave of outbreak starting from the last week of August. But during this day, the transmission and new cases are getting down a bit. Government is trying to control straightly and also extended the stay home period for every 15 days. And now they are checking carefully the migrants workers come back from overseas by flight or by land, then put them into the quarantine center for 14 weeks. And flights, the borders and airports stay closed till the end of November, and also the domestic flight and hotels are not operating during this period. Yeah. So during this time, we are doing virtual training and briefing to our local suppliers and guides to follow the middle points of uh, protocol according to the Ministry of Health and Support, so they can practice in their daily life. Hopefully, we will be ready once the borders is open for the tourists traveling with new normal.
Thank you. So that's basically like right now there are no tourists, but it's a good thing that you're utilizing the time and going ahead into the new normal. Travel is going to change. I mean, there are certain protocols that will have to be followed, and it's good
Sure.
to use this time to prepare for that.
Yeah. Yes.
And what is the wildlife like? Birds and animals. So in the hill regions, do you have endemic bird species?
Yes. For the people who are interested in wildlife, we can also arrange to visit Mount Victoria Wildlife Sanctuary at about 5-hour drive from Bagan. So you can visit the wildlife. There are the mm, there are the many species of butterflies, bats, deer, and also wild boar. The another one, as I explained in sustainability projects, you can visit Min Song Dang Wildlife Sanctuary to support the Statutory Center.
Thank you. Would you recommend traveling to the southern parts of the country, south of Myanmar? And is there anything to see there other than fishing villages?
Actually, I would really recommend to visit Molamyai and Pagan state in the southern part of Myanmar rather than the fishing villages in the west. In Molamyai, as you know, uh, you will see the culture, architecture, and this is the small colonial town. And in Pagan, you will see the amazing nature background and can do the activities. So that's why I will recommend to visit Mont Ankayan state rather than the fishing area.
Thank you. And this is, oh, one question, and I'm sure many others might have the same thing in mind. Why do the Kayan women wear these rings around their necks? And do you still see them? Are they still there, or like, kind of now with slowly changing people moving to villages, is it something that you don't?
Slowly, yeah, slowly changing. The young Kenyan lady, they are not wearing the brown strings any longer. So there are many stories come from legend about wearing the brown rings. Some of the Kenyan women, even they don't have the right answer why they are wearing these brown rings. Some of them said they are protecting their neck from the attacking by tiger, but others said it makes less beauty of women so they can protect from the kidnapping by the rival tribes. Yeah.
It's always interesting to have these stories.
This,
Was there a
yeah,
ban or something?
actually, this is that story.
Or is it because
Sorry?
just their lifestyle is changing that you don't find so many of them there now?
No, no, no. That the others women's only the other women's you can see with the brown rings, but younger ladies they are not wearing this
Okay. What is the accommodation like in rural areas when you go to these homestays, when you go to stay with the local communities and all? Are there shared toilets or are they en suite?
Actually, it's a homestay at Tamarind Lake, like a community-based tourism. The the toilets and bedrooms are separately you can use, but in the remote areas for overnight trekkings, toilets and bedrooms need to be shared with the family host. But the bedroom we will make the partition to be separated.
Okay, thank you. That's good to know. Is Myanmar an expensive country?
Yeah.
Like the hotels, food prices in restaurants and good restaurants and all, is it expensive?
Yeah, that depends on our client's preference, you know. The accommodations there are many options in the highlight destinations, starting from 2-star plus local family rented the 5-star luxury hotels. So it depends on our clients. And the beach hotels are more expensive than the other destinations. So the food is in a good restaurant is not really expensive, about $10 to $12 per meals at local restaurants, and about $20 to $25 at Western restaurant. Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad. That's kind of at par. It used to be, I think, a lot more expensive then.
Yes, you know for the for the standard accommodations, it about $50 to $60 per night.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
yeah, thank you. And how's the public transport system? Are the taxis expensive? And is there public transport to take you around the country?
Public transport, you mean around the country or in the city?
In the cities, yeah.
In the city is I will not recommend for foreigner as they they do not know the directions. So better take the taxi. That's not expensive.
Great, thank you. And is it generally safe to
Yeah,
travel independently?
sure. It's very safe.
All parts of the country?
Yeah, it's safe. But just one thing, I mean, not like remote area, we will recommend uh, to take that guide to accompany our clients.
Mhm.
Yeah, for that, the highlight destination, no problem. They can travel around independently. As you know, like Northern Shan State or the Eastern Shan State area, we will suggest to have the guide.
Yes, exactly. That's what. In fact, because language also can be another problem, so they
Yeah.
do need somebody for directions, language, and
Yes.
I think infrastructure. Because as you get into the remoter places, then there is hardly any infrastructure, so it needs proper guiding those places.
Sure. Like how to say, it's the kind of consider for their trekking ways or for the village walk.
Right. Thank you. And what is the train to Mandalay like? Is it the normal train which is used by locals, or is it like it's got more than two stoppings?
Actually, you know, I will not recommend to take the train for overnight. Long journey. A bit pumping. A train is a local standard, not a tourist train like other country. So they rather take the um, public bus with AC in good condition and comfortable seat.
Right. But just at least to cover the part when it goes over the viaduct and the beautiful scenery.
Yes, only this. Yeah, the short train ride, for example, another from northern Shan state
Mhm.
to get Pyone Ei. So you can see the beautiful sceneries and passing over the culture viaduct. The other one is uh, very short one in Galo and Bindia region, passing over the Shan mountain and beautiful scenery. Only the this kind of train rides we
Right.
recommend.
Okay. The
Yeah,
scenic journeys, basically, just
yeah,
those bits. Um, and can you cross over from the neighboring countries into Myanmar?
sure. Uh, there are the four border lines from Myanmar to Thailand and also two from Myanmar to India. To vice versa to get Thailand, we use oftenly the from Nyawari to Mesampora and Tachile to Mesampora. This is the easiest ones. The other one is Tammu to More border from Myanmar to India. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Again, that's good to know because in case clients would like to combine and do this journey overland.
So they can cross by overland to get Yangon, or from Yangon to cross over to the other country, other neighbor countries. Yes.
And what are the important festivals there which you would recommend people visit and see? I think the water festival is one of them.
Of course. Yes, in Myanmar, we have a festival in every single month. Among them, yes, I will suggest to see the water festival, the Burmese New Year festival, celebrating 4 days in April, and also the Untouched festival, the Lighting festival, celebrating 3 days in the last week of October. Actually, tomorrow is the first day of the Untouched.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So this is the Lighting festival and celebration to welcome the Buddha coming back from the heaven after he preached Tamat to his mom.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And another one is Pyone Ei Mon festival on Inle Lake. They are celebrating about 18 days in October. And also Anana Pagoda festival in Bagan, celebrating about 4 weeks in between January and February, so that the client can see when they are traveling.
Exactly.
Take place. Yeah.
So it's most times of the year, so at least they can plan around some festival if they plan their trip independently. Yeah. That's fantastic, and I think that's all the questions we have. So. But in case you think of any questions later, you can always email us at ask@traveltheunknown.com. We will be hosting more online events in the coming months. The next 2 are confirmed, almost confirmed as shown. The next one definitely is, and then we are waiting for the one on 25th November. Look out for our newsletter and registration details on our events page. And as always, a recording of this presentation will also be on our events page. Thank you again for joining us today, and thank you, Pyone. We hope to be able to join you for a real tour of the country sometime soon. I hope to see you all again in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Sunita.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And
I
hope so. Sorry. In fact, we do have messages coming in for clients and with their thanks too. And we thank all the clients also for joining us today. Morning time is always, it doesn't really work for everyone, but it's really good to see such a good turnout today. And so in the next couple of weeks, we'll be taking you to the Soviet fringes, Belarus, Ukraine, and Moldova. And we look forward to seeing you then. Meanwhile, enjoy the rest of your days, stay inspired and stay safe. Goodbye.